lots of havoc. You know, CBers are coming around when they went down your street. Everything started to turn on and flash and turn off.
This is the closed N4NJJ repeater, Centennial Hills. A closed repeater filled.
Yeah, now that you mention it, I do remember interference occasionally on radios or TVs. I never saw anybody's lights going on, though. But, yeah.
This guy, he's actually a ham, too, and he passed away, but he was building these 100-watt amplifiers, and they were so dirty, but for $100, it was a nice little amplifier he made everybody.
I was just a standard guy, but I took advantage of elevation.
A lot of fun on CB radio, I really did. I was on it for 20 years, from 77 to 97. I always had a good time with everybody. And I got into ham radio in, 82, but I didn't want to leave the CBers I knew.
That's the other thing this guy was recommending, this YouTube famous guy. He was saying we shouldn't call it Citizens Band. Well, I forgot what his reason was, but he says he doesn't think that's a good name for it. He's promoting the concept of something called a free band instead of a citizens band.
I always thought GMRS was the replacement for 11 meters.
I don't know. I don't hear. Well, you know, I'm kind of wondering. I think there's a lot of people who use GMRS that don't know they have to have a license.
We don't get much activity here. I know Carl does some of it. I've done a little bit. We all have call signs for it. I don't think most of us have used it much, though.
If you're under,
Yeah.
if you're under 5 watts and not transmitting through a repeater, or 467, no matter if it's through a repeater or not, on a repeater input, you don't need a GMRS license.
That'd be FRS.
The only, well, FRS has the lower power limit, but yeah, you don't need a license there either. The 8 to 14 has the lower power limits than 1 through 7 or 15 through 22.
Onto that escarpment.
Oh, you're
Early
you
reading
know,
activity.
you know all the
I
channels.
don't know. KC2XD, it's probably time for an ID.
KE2FLS.
7 VOT. Yeah, Carl, I was saying you're an encyclopedia. You even know all the channels that are in GMRS and FRS or whatever it's called.
You got double that. I think that was you, Roy, identifying, wasn't it? It was. We had a double going on there.
Hey, boys, good evening. Mark, tell me your question again.
No, I'm just saying, you're an encyclopedia. You know all the channels and all that information about in the different frequencies, you know?
Yeah, better use it when my dad got sick and then found out I was almost out of pain. I thought I was out of pain at first before I actually knew what was going on. So I did the FRS. I was using what more Well, and then I found out, so.
Bring your audio up. There's noise going over you. It's so hard to hear you.
Yeah, because there's noise in me. Yeah, alright. Sorry about that. And the other radios and the gauge is on charge. Plus there was feedback from the SDR. I get the SDR up for I could always turn the volume off.
Now I was looking at the band plan, and I was trying to figure out, well, what exactly are the benefits I get now with an extra? And you get benefits on 10, 15, 20, 40, 80. That's about it. And it's just some extensions of the frequencies, but those are the bands you really get your benefits from. Everything else is the same, so not a huge difference, I think.
Looking at 10, no, you get, the generals get the same as the extras on 10 meters. So it's 15, 20, and 40, and 80.
Oh, okay, so 10 is the same, huh?
And I used to have the advance, which has been gone. They got rid of the advance. That's where my call sign comes from 82. Or 1983, sorry. But yeah, so I had a little bit more privileges in advance, but because I let the license expire, I'm a general now. They don't have the advance anymore. They still honor it, though.
Yeah, I don't know. I printed out my piece of paper, my station license and my extra license, and that's the highlight of my day a couple days ago. That was fun. Tonight there was a new lady here in Las Vegas who just got her license like yesterday or something. She just got on the TechNet here in Las Vegas tonight.
More activity from Vegas every day. Mostly it was Buffalo activity, but we got quite a new hams coming on now.
Well, we should figure out how to link up some other repeaters, other links in the chain, I don't know who else, maybe bring in Florida or somebody, I don't know.
We might be a little much for some people. Some people's equipment may not handle our duty cycle right.
Too many link ups, so you're going to get to the point where you're never going to be able to talk on here.
That's true. I guess it would be a pile-up, as they call it.
Had Mr. New York on here, and we just didn't get along with them. They didn't really care for us. So then we blew up one of their repeaters, amplifiers. But yeah, so it doesn't work with every group. It certainly didn't work with the 3 or 4 that were out there. I don't know, they just didn't seem to get along with us.
Yeah, I don't know why that would be, but I don't know. If people are feeling they're superior to somebody else, maybe that could cause a problem, I suppose.
I always think we're a friendly bunch, so I don't know, but yeah. It just didn't work out for us with them. They wanted well, here's what happened. They wanted activity, and they hooked up to us, and I don't think they were expecting to get the amount of activity that we would give them at times.
This is the closed N4NJJ repeater, Centennial Hills, a closed repeater affiliate of the Sin City Repeater Group.
I see. So you overpowered their group.
To everybody passes it on to the next, and we just like to jump in. So they didn't like that either. And we really don't do round table style. We just jump in when we have a comment, which does cause doubling.
Well, yeah, this is free radio. That was slave radio.
Sometimes I'll get 10, 12, 14 people on here at once, and I don't think it ever works well, but what else can you do? But it's a popular system, you know? People in Buffalo and Vegas want to talk on here.
I think this is, I don't know. I mean, I don't know for sure, because I'm not Mr. Expert here, but this has got to be either the first or second busiest repeater system in the valley, I would think. High Potosi, Low Potosi, Blue Diamond are all linked. They got all kinds of links everywhere. I mean, I was hearing like, what is it called? N7 ALD. Anyhow, it's a Filipino club here in Las Vegas, and they talk on Blue Diamond repeater, which I can't tell you the frequency because mine's on the channel. But break AM7 BOP. But they are linked to the Philippines, to Los Angeles, like Orange County, San Francisco. I mean, Vancouver, British Columbia. I mean, I couldn't believe the people were calling in from everywhere. I mean, there was somebody calling in from Guam. So I don't know what kind of repeater system they're using, but it's got a lot of connections.
And they're all virtual coax. That's all virtual coax through the internet.
Yeah, they might be just linking up repeaters.
It probably is some kind of digital thing, maybe All-Star or Echolink, or I don't know what they're using, but all I know is I was like, wow, they're calling from everywhere, you know?
Echolink, it's the foreign countries other than the United States that have all the activity on the repeaters, and that's where I hear it. I don't know. We got a problem with amateur radio and repeaters. I think they all should be active. They put these repeaters up, nobody uses them, they leave them on the air. Doesn't make any sense.
Well, okay, so I'm kind of guilty of, I mean, if there's no activity on a frequency, I mean, you might call, give a call sign or something, but if nothing's going on, you kind of feel like a fool just starting talking with, just talking to the air.
Yeah, I've argued this with hams before. They say, well, it's because we have cell phones, that's why nobody uses a repeater. And I said, then you need to explain to me the activity on here, because we do have activity, and it's not, we're just all here. We use cell phones, I'm sure, but we're still talking on a repeater. They just got to get talking and get it going.
I'm just going to say, everybody out here has a cell phone, definitely.
They'll tell you, I don't know, maybe hams have just gotten lazy. I have no idea why I think all repeaters should be busy. Meet all the hams. We only got too many modes or something, I don't know.
Well, I got a question for you guys. Maybe you can all answer it, and whoever Roy's out there, I think. So I got a friend who's saying, I told him I got my extra and all that. He goes, congratulations. He says, what's that going to do for you? Now, I've had people like my sister, or not my sister, another person I know ask, are you going to make any money from this? And so, he said, what are you getting from this? So let me ask you guys that question. What are you getting from your general license or your extra, your tech, or whatever you have? What are you getting from your license?
hobby, Mark. It's not a job making where you can make money. It's your hobby. It's something you enjoy talking to other people.
Hey, Paul, how's it going? Yeah, Kim 750. No, that's what I told him. I said, it's a hobby, and for me, it's an accomplishment. He said, well, what did you accomplish? I said, well, I got to print out my piece of paper. So, I don't know.
Oh, Paul. Well, I'm telling you, I'm having the time of my life with the bunch that's on here. Yeah, I was in ham radio from 82 to 98, and I didn't have the fun I have now. It's the people I talk to on here, and we do a lot of stuff together, which we never did years ago. So I think it's the hobby, and I think it's because you meet all these great ham radio operators. We all have something in common.
That is true. I hope I'm not mocking or talking over anybody, but the thing is, when I got my license in '93, there was really nothing going on as far as that, and then all of a sudden, an IROC came into play, and that was on for a while, and then he had All-Star come in and Echo Link and that, and then you have DMR and everything, and I've gotten into DMR, and it's pretty, that's just a very good, well, I mean, it's digital, but it's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the only people who can understand it are somebody who's developed the interest for the hobby, I guess.
To be a different type of person. I don't know what that person is, but they're different from other people I know. I'm not sure. It's the social part of it or something, I guess.
Well, I got into it because of things that I was involved with law enforcement in LA County, and then we had some major earthquakes, a few earthquakes in Southern California, and that's how I got involved with it, and doing stuff with the LA County Sheriff and volunteering and all that, and I learned a lot from that.
I'm not bored anymore. I don't have a dull moment. I used to. I don't the last 2 years since I've been in this. I got so many activities with this now. I think there's more stuff to do with it, too.
Well, you know, it's ironic. I mean, like it was in CB in the 70s, 77. And as a Mirage limo driver, one of the original drivers, you know, I was out of flying for a while. I did nothing but carry a radio all day long for 8 hours a day. And the radio was roughly the size of the radio I'm holding right now. This Baofend UV25. Feels just like it. So it's kind of weird. Maybe my hand misses the radio because I'm now holding one just like I used to.
With a couple of our ham clubs, I think ham radio is on the upswing, and I think we're getting younger people into it now too. Just from what I'm hearing on the radio and seeing at the clubs.
The only thing we don't have, like you guys, you have a club actually where you have your clubhouse where you guys have your meetings. We have to go like to the restaurants and other locations to have our meetings and that. But that's the way it goes.
This has been closed and
The clubhouse is great because it's open every Thursday, and then once in a while they'll open it for other things too. But it's fun because you get to see everybody at least every Thursday, you know. There's so much in that clubhouse, you know, a repair room and a radio room and a kitchen and all the boardroom, all that stuff. And so, yeah, you see hams once a week regardless if you're going all the time.
might be, maybe there's more people coming in because the nature of YouTube, if you click on something that says, oh, you must be interested in that, and brings it back up eventually. So maybe somebody accidentally gets a ham radio video by accident or something close to the subject they're looking at, and they click on the ham radio thing. I wonder if that's anything for new hams.
Times though, new hams in here, they only last a couple of weeks and they're gone. I don't know if they decide it's not for them, or I think we're a friendly bunch. We get some young hams in here too, and they don't always stick with us, so I don't know. That's why I was just mentioning in an email to one of the clubs. They said that too bad we can't come up with a way of maybe having one of the club meetings where we invite all new hams to come. Maybe we should invite them to a new ham to our shack, you know, get them so they're not mic shy, show them what they need to know. I always thought that, you know, I think when you get people involved, then you'll keep them around longer.
Stage fright too, and to UGS.
A stage fright. I suggested it to Ronnie in an email. I said, you know, we need to do something. Keep the young ones, keep the new ones. We gotta get them, if you get them involved in the club and invite them and then get them to do something, I think you'll keep them.
Well, I always say well. Every time I start talking, I go, well. It's a very deep subject. You know, I've had my radio out somewhere, which is kind of strange at Del Taco. They're looking at me like, what the hell is this? But I've asked people, young people, I'm trying to tell them that I'm a ham, and they go, what is that? They don't even know what ham radio is.
People used to know because of CB radio. And maybe, Jeremy, that may not be a bad idea for Barrett, too, I was thinking, you know? Have some sort of a new ham mentor program, because we can certainly look up call signs and see who's new. I just wonder if that's, you know, something that would keep people around longer than a couple of weeks.
Yep, I gave a proposal to the board for a merit system to get involved with the club.
I think if we send an email to the new ham that's not sure what they're doing, they might take you up on it and show up, you know. Ronnie keeps getting these new young people coming about getting licensed. They don't get their license. We don't see them again, but they're coming in the door. Just got to get something to keep them around, I guess. I don't know. I don't know. We're giving Mira a good run, aren't we? Got all this stuff going on for them.
Anybody, got a license, go double.
So if Joe brings donuts 5 times to the meeting, he gets 5 yellow buffaloes. And he can take his 5 yellow buffaloes and turn it in for 1 yellow buffalo with a diamond on it. Or if you go to 5 tech meetings, you get 5 blue buffaloes, and then you can turn your 5 blue buffaloes in for a blue buffalo with a diamond.
It's a good idea. Well, I think every club needs a little shot in the arm, right? Which we're certainly doing for them. There's potential in this club.
Hey guys, Paul was I think it was Paul. Paul was doubling with Rick there, and I didn't hear what Paul wanted to say. You guys want to see what he was saying?
Oh.
What I was trying to talk or say, they have a new ham net on Thursday night, the Henderson Average Radio Club here in Las Vegas, and they talk about they have people out there that got their license that's been on it for a year to a month to a few days, and you know, it brings out a few people.
The idea is I think you should invite new hams to your shack and let them check it out, let them ask questions, help them operate. Get them talking on the radio. We don't do that. We don't say, hey, you're a new ham, come hang out with us, come do some stuff with us. I think we should.
I'd like to see is the stats on Ronnie's free membership for the people, how many renew after that year's up. KA8 BYU.
Lancaster does that. They give you a free membership for a year. I don't know if Ronnie does that, but I know Lancaster gives you a free membership for the first year.
Yeah, that's what I meant, Rick. I was looking at something else here on the phone at the same time, and that had Ronnie on it, so that's why I said it.
I know new hams are afraid, and I know they're shy, and I think that's one of the reasons they disappear off this repeater. We're nice, but they just don't seem to know, okay, when can I talk? Can I talk to these people? How do I get in there? And I think if you can get new hams and give them some guidance, I mean, you can't force them if they don't want it, but I think if you did something, they would take you up on it. I think just inviting them to a club and demonstrating stuff to them would help. You know, things like that. I think we're losing people because we're not encouraging enough.
You got to open that up and see what your board members are saying about you know, having new ham net on a certain night, and just local white, and maybe just for a local or something, and that might help out the club and everything.
That's the idea around for a while. I just got to get a club now interested in trying it out. People are always getting these radiograms welcoming them to ham radio, so there's a way of getting the listing of all the new hams coming on, in the area. So I think that's why, I just realized the other day, that's why people don't stick around on here, because even though we're friendly, they're not sure how to fit in, most of them.
That's why you have the new ham net where they just check in and you put out the new ham net, and you put out, and then they see how many people would actually come on the air.
I think you need that face-to-face, though, so you can help them answer questions. Let them operate your equipment.
Well, why don't you, Rick, you could be famous, so you could do a Barra Hamnet Radio YouTube. And every week you get on in front of the camera and you give a little speech. A tech topic or something. Because what you're talking about, because a lot of people don't want to go to somebody's house or go to a public event. They just want to enjoy the ham radio. So maybe you could do a YouTube channel for your club.
I don't know. I still think face-to-face is good. We get people coming out for lunch all the time. I don't know. I think they're mic shy. I think that's the problem. I think if you can get together somehow with them, go and do POTA. Invite a whole bunch of new hams to come and do POTA with you. Something. Doesn't even have to be your home. Go do some POTA in the park and invite all these new hams to come out.
This is the closed N4NJJ repeater, Centennial.
Yeah, I know what soda is, and I know what POTA is, but I saw one called JOTA. J-O-T-A. What is that?
No idea.
Jamboree on the air. It's for scouting. Oh, okay. Well, that was the other thing I was kind of in the back of my head is getting Boy Scouts involved, Eagle Scouts, whatever.
To have a badge they could get a badge where they could, that would be one of their requirements. I don't think they do that anymore, but that used to be one of them a long time ago.